Have we been getting more people to this than this, or has it been?
This seems really scarce. I don't know.
Yeah, usually there's like 4 or 5.
Okay, well, we'll get started anyways, because you guys are here on time. So I'll do a quick introduction. I don't know if I've met you guys or not. I'm Brady Summers. I am the Director of Operations for Seasons Real Estate, which is we're a small team right now. It's Becca Summers is kind of our rainmaker. Lori Summers is my mom and just an agent on our team. And then I do all of the agent, everything for them, all the systems, marketing. I do hiring, all of that stuff. And today we're going to be talking about strengthening relationships. And I brought some stuff that we briefly talk about here, but I'd rather go into a deep dive and help you plan out your 36 touch going forward so that you have a plan of action going into January. So that's where I spend a majority of my time every week is building and executing our systems around our 36 touch. We're about 80% of our business year over year comes from our past clients or referral clients. This year it deviated a little bit lower, but we ended up with 6 closed transactions from other agents. So we've seen a weird dynamic shift this year, but with relocation buyers, we're getting a lot of referrals that way, and we have marketing plans around referrals as well. So actually, why don't you both introduce yourselves so I know?
I'm Faye. I've been here since September, so and yeah, it's it. I'm just trying to cold call. I haven't gotten any leads yet.
Okay.
I do want to say that I went to your class last month, and it was my favorite Ignite class.
Yes.
So I feel like I learned the most in it.
Perfect. Well, that makes me feel good because sometimes I got the ADHD and I let things go the wrong direction, but yeah.
Just the way that you showed everything, how you do it on your computer. I don't know, it's just really interesting.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you do the last session 12 last month?
I don't think so. I think I did. I want to say it was like 14 or 16. I can't remember. Cameron kept sending me the, hey, sign up. We need teachers, and I'm like, I'll come back to it. And then he texts me. He's like, can you come on Monday? I'm like, yes, I can. So, yeah, there's about 3 or 4 topics that I feel comfortable teaching. My history, I joined my wife in 2020, in January 2020. Before that, I was a robotics engineer. So my history is robots, but the thing that I was really good at was figuring out how to fix something and then documenting the process of making it repeatable. And that's all I do here in real estate is I take something like we just had on Saturday, we had our Photos with Santa event here, like right here in this basement. And I have all of the systems of when do the emails go out? When do the postcards go out? How do I get people to the event? How do I get, and that's all I do is just systems. So I don't, and then even going further back, my mom's been in real estate since I was 12. So I've been around it forever. I am not an amazing sales agent. I hate sales. I'm not good at it. I'm kind of the introvert person. So, I know a lot about it, but it's the systems and the client retention stuff that I really excel at. So, those are the classes you'll see me teach. I actually think Becca will be teaching the class on Friday, which I have no idea what topic that is, but yeah. So what was your name?
Alex.
Alex.
I've been here roughly the same amount of time.
Okay.
September, October.
Perfect. I don't know if I've had you in one of my classes yet or not, but
I've seen you around a lot. I think you've been here while other people have taught and things like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I've been to one of your classes.
yeah, I'm here every Monday we do a team meeting here. And then I used to be housed out of the Mapleton office. Now I work from home. So it's just kind of, I'm kind of everywhere, but yeah. Cool. Well, we'll continue on. So today, or in the course overview, we're here at session 12, which is strengthen relationships. I think I might have 11 last time. I can't remember, but looking at it, that's what it feels like. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about mindset, identifying goals. We're going to devise a plan, and I actually brought some work that we can do to really get into that. And then we'll go through some recap ahas. Here to answer any questions that you have on this topic, or if we want to go wherever you guys want, happy to do that. Yeah. So Gary Keller says that know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focused action. I think the most important part of that is the focused action. Because we will do the wrong thing. We'll keep ourselves busy all the time to feel like we're being busy, but there's a lot of work that we shouldn't be doing or that aren't the high priority items. And that's a lot of what I'm going to be focusing on today, is trying to help identify what the real priorities are. So leads versus contacts, do you know the difference?
Lead versus, I'm sorry, lead versus contacts?
Mhm.
A lead is somebody who you can see yourself actively taking on as a client. A contact is just someone who is in your contacts.
Yeah, basically. So the way I think of it, basically the exact same thing. A lead to me is somebody who's raised their hand and said, I have some form of a real estate need. A contact is somebody who you have permission to have a two-way conversation. A lead's going to be a one-way conversation. Welcome. So yeah, so leads, you have the ability to have a one-way conversation. So that's going to be, they've said something that, hey, I have an interest in something that we provide, and that's giving you permission to follow up with them to, when I stand right there, it's really bad. To follow up with them to give them, if they've asked for a CMA, or if they've said, I'm looking for a home, something, you have permission by them to contact them. Once you get past that point, they turn into a contact, and it becomes more of a two-way conversation where they'll reach out to talk to you as well as you talk, conversing back. So basically we're going through this funnel where you lead capture, which becomes your database, which is going to be your mets and your haven't mets, which is also your leads and your contacts. So leads, you're going to be working to form relationships, turning them into contacts. From that, you're going to be preparing those contacts for conversion, and then they'll either come down here to the new and repeat client, or they're going to be helping give you referrals, which will put more new people back up into the funnel and bring them down. So that is where a majority of my business comes from, is working in this section. Not as much working here. As a new solo agent, you'll be spending a lot of time in both. Am I standing in where you, okay. So leads, like I said, the right to a one-way conversation. Contacts, you're engaging in a two-way conversation, and you've offered something of value to the contact. So they're looking to you as somebody who's providing something to them, which puts value in their mind for you. So, and then coming down to this preparing contacts for conversions, this is going to be the interactive and needs-based offerings. So these are going to be like your MOFers, make offers for immediate response, stuff that you're going to put out there. They're going to say, hey, I'm actually interested in this. And that's where you're going to start converting them into clients. So this has focused on building relationship and taking market share. So starting with mindset, today's conversations are tomorrow's transactions. So basically every conversation we're having is going to be the potential for future business. On our team, we like to think about, this thing is just. Ooh, Becky. Gotta get further away from the speaker. We talked that our business is about, the business where people we're talking to about today will be transacting in 90 days. And this is where we're seeing a huge roller coaster in business. If we get too busy right now trying to find business, and then we allow ourselves to only work on servicing that business, we'll see in 90 days after that, we'll see this big lull, and then we're like pedaling, trying to get back into production, and it just creates this cycle. So we always want to be making sure we're having conversations constantly to try to minimize the ebb and flow of those. I have no idea why I'm so feedbacky right now. Once you met your contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and you stay in touch with them forever. The numbers that MREA says is anyone in your Met database, you should be getting 2 pieces of business for every 12 people in your database, which one of those pieces would be a referral, a referral, and one will be them transacting. So that's how I track my numbers is based off the MREA models. If they're in your database, but they're in your haven't met, that number's 1 out of 50 should transact every year. So if you had a database of 200 people that you haven't met, you should get 4 pieces of transactions from that database per year. So if you're farming or something to that effect. So that's why when we meet somebody and get them into the Met database, it's really kind of a big deal. That's why we do events and different things, is to start cementing us as their real estate professionals in their minds. So we're going to start kind of talking about the goals of today, which is kind of the lead conversion portion of this. So we're going to convert the contacts to close business. And the way we do that is by staying top of mind. This little graph shows, they did the survey a few years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, they redid this, and they show how many people interview, or how many agents people interview every time they went to hire somebody. For sellers, 74% only hired one or interviewed one person before they hired someone. For buyers, that the number is 75, and then you'll see about 10-11% did or 15% did 2 agents, and then everyone else did 10-11. And in our business, I'd say once a year we get into something where somebody is interviewed more than 2. Other than that, 1 or 2 is all we really ever see. And all it matters is staying top of mind. I can't remember where the stat came out, but it says people need to be reminded what you do every 12 days. So every 12 days, people forget what you do. So especially if it's someone like your friend's husband or spouse, friends, they just forget because it's not important to their lives. So then you're gonna want to leverage Mindshare for referral business. Do we have any ahas so far? I think here is where we're going to start actually getting into some work about some papers that we're going to do some activities around. But around this microphone is really driving me nuts. Stand a little further away from that speaker. So basically what we have is the database touch plan. We call ours a 36 touch, kind of based off that same math about staying in contact with people enough that they'll remember what you do. Basically, it says that 4 touches should be telephone calls or text messages. Those should be once a quarter. Then you've got your 26 touches, which are going to be like a biweekly email offering some type of information or value to the consumer. 2 touches, which are going to be events, get-togethers, or parties a year. 4 touches should be like a promotional direct mail or a magnet, calendar, a market report, pop by. They don't call that out there, but that's one that I do like. I guess taking a step back, the 19 to connect is what you do to people who are not solidified into your database. They might be Mets. A lot of them are going to be haven't Mets that you're trying to connect with, which are going to be the same 4 quarterly calls, 12 touches, which are going to be monthly emails or newsletters, 2 touches, which are like a promotional direct mail or magnet, pop buys potentially. And then 1 touch would be like an annual, like an event or a party, movie screening, get together, something like that. And then once they go through those 2, you're going to have 1 to cement, which will be some type of high value item or thing that's going to help solidify them, you as their agent forever. So what I want to do, instead of talking about our 6 connecting questions and stuff that we talk about every week, I brought the right amount of papers. I brought my team's 36 touch marketing plan, and we touch people a lot more than 6 times. But as an example, just to kind of help you see how we do it. And then I actually brought a blank one to help kind of start making plans for you. So for next year, you have an idea of what you want to do and actionable steps. I'm going to pull it up on my phone real quick. Maybe. There we go. So the way I set this up, and this is one I just did, but like I didn't pull any from anywhere, but it just made sense for me. I broke it down into client events, event-centric marketing. What am I doing for those events to make sure I'm contacting people? Annual mailers. These are things that I'm only going to be sending once a year to the people in the database. Then I have my monthly market emails. So what am I doing sending every month to the database? Club 92 is our past client program where we just shower our past clients with stuff. Basically every month. It helps get them to open up emails. There's a whole lot of psychology why we do it, but that's what that Club 92 is just our past client program. Then I've got my monthly postcards, which I plan out in advance so that I don't even have to think, come January, I know that what postcard needs to be in the mail. And then what I do with social media. Looking at that, do you have any questions? So what else I did bring is blank ones, and you're welcome to use mine as a template. You don't have to use mine as a template. You don't have to use this at all. But what I would start doing is start making a plan for your 2025, what you're going to do to stay in touch with our database. My recommendation for client events, we do a lot of events, but Keller Williams says 2 events is sufficient. So the way I would recommend doing it, especially right now, is the office does the pumpkin patch in October, and they do Seven Peaks, what is it called now? Summit Splash Summit in July, June or July. I would put those down as your events, because the cool thing being a part of the office, they basically subsidize the cost of the tickets. So instead of paying, I think Splash Summit's normally like $20 a day for a ticket. I think they cost $8 or something like that. And then you only are paying for how many tickets you get. So you get 10 people there, you only pay for that. So I would use the leverage of the office, bulk pricing to plan your two events. And that's where I would start. The other options you have for events are like a movie event where you could have vendors come in and help pay for some of the movie events. For our team, our vendors do not pay for any of our events. We use our vendors, like we had our photos with Santa here on Saturday. We abuse our vendors by making them come in at Friday night to set up and Saturday afternoon to tear down. So that's what we use our vendors for. But a lot of the business practice in the space is allowing like a lender to come in and pay for the theater with you to offset your costs. But until you're ready for that, I would recommend just using ones that the office subsidizes. So for the event-centric marketing, I would come up with what are your plans for marketing your database? Do you want to send mailers? Do you want to send just emails? Do you want to set it up as a sign-up genius so that you can have, a tracking of who's coming? You can get their full contact information if you're going to share it on social media, kind of what your plan is for that. Next on the list, we have the monthly market emails. And that is going to be what type of email are you planning? Are you planning on sending an email to your database? And if so, what is your plan? I would even go as far as selecting the day that you're going to send it, what time. If you're using Command to do this, if you're using Command, they recommend that you do them through smart plans to send them, just a one-time smart plan, because it apparently gets flagged as spam less often than if you use campaigns. I don't know why that is, but when I was reading through some of their documents, that's what it recommended. And I switched from using campaigns to smart plans, and it's been fine ever since. And with the smart plans, if you want to select a time, you have to have like a 1-day delay in the email or in the smart plan to pick the time. If not, then you can just say, I want it to go on this day, and it will send, but it won't let you pick the time. So I would, getting back to it, I would have what day you want to send it. So for us, our normal email goes out on the third Thursday of the month. That's going to everyone. And the reason we chose Thursday is simply because it is the lowest or the highest day of opens with the lowest day of unsubscribes. Somewhere in Google, I found some studies that said people on Thursdays will read more emails and they unsubscribe less, where Mondays is the highest day for unsubscribes. So, you get to work and you have a huge inbox of stuff and you're like, I don't care. And you just sit and unsubscribe. So that's why I chose Thursday. And the third Thursday, I just kind of arbitrarily threw that up there. And then for our Club 92, which is our past clients, we send out a monthly email on the first Thursday. And that one is basically it's a giveaway or event signups. So every month, later today, I will be doing the giveaway for our email that went out on Thursday. We're giving away a house cleaning before Christmas to one person in our Club 92. So right before Christmas, our cleaners will go in and clean up their house. I got 71 people to sign up. So, a lot of people opening their emails. That's honestly the whole reason I do that. It's kind of training them to open up the emails, see the value. So else in our past client program, so we have our monthly giveaways. We also do 2 client-only events. One of them is Pi Day, which is March 14th. We send out a sign up to pick your pie, and then we hand deliver hundreds of pies for usually 2 days. And then we also do garbage day. We own a moving truck, so we send out a sign up says, hey, sign up, tell us what garbage, crap do you need taken to the dump? And we do that. Once again, just trying to add value, get people to open their emails and just remember that I would recommend up with either a client program or something we're working on implementing for 2025 is our top 50 program, which is going to be a smaller version of our past client program. That it's going to be the same quarterly contacts that we're seeing in the 36 touch, but it's also going to be like one more pop by a year, meaningful stuff, maybe taking each of them out to lunch once a year, something like that, to just really define or build up those people who help our business the most. Because, looking at our database, we're sitting at about almost 1,100 people in our database right now for our team. And there really is probably 150 of them that are really good connectors and who are really supporting our business to, every year we just keep seeing the same people that are referring friends and family or doing more business with us. So that's where I would look at a past client program. I might change that to who are my advocates? Who can I, take a loaf of Kneader's bread? I think there it goes. So that they remember us or remember you. And then monthly mail. This is where we do our postcards. I've experimented with monthly. I've experimented with every 6 weeks. So in 2023, I did every 6 weeks. I don't see a note of any difference in anything. I don't know if monthly's worth it. When our sales started coming back, I went back to monthly just because I like having the extra opportunities to markets, especially events for us. We have a couple of people who they don't check their emails, they don't get onto social media, and we just constantly the postcard goes out, and all of a sudden I can tell you certain people will sign up as soon as that postcard goes out. So that's what I would look at as monthly mailers. There are other things you could do with your monthly mailers. You could send out like home valuation reports, like unsolicited ones if you want. Go through and say, okay, I'm gonna send out any. You could even do like social media posts like, hey, I will do 10 home valuation reports. Send me your address, and then you can send it that way. Annual mailers. This is the only two that I actually physically left printed on here because I highly recommend doing handwritten birthday cards, and then as you get closings, anniversary cards. They are super simple to do, and we get really good. We get really good returns on those. I would say at least a couple times a month, we're getting texts back from our clients on their birthday cards, like, hey, thanks so much. On the ones I send out, Becca and I send out, we just send a card, nothing in it. My mom, she includes, this year she's sending like a $5 Cold Stone gift card. Last year she did some, I think it was nothing bundt cakes, like get a free mini bundt cake. You can do it either way. I see the value in both, but I necessarily think you need to add anything else, because how often are you actually getting a handwritten note from anyone? Just opening it's kind of exciting to have somebody have taken the thought, the time to write you a card. And then social media, that is where the whole future is. The majority of our marketing can be done all on social media. My biggest recommendation there would be focusing on one that you're comfortable with now and get really good at it. Come up with your posting schedule, whether that's I'm going to keep a stories active all the time, or I'm going to do one post a day. I'm going to upload a video a week, whatever your plan for the social medias. I'd plan it out and then just execute to that until it becomes almost second nature before you add another one that you're gonna really focus on. I wouldn't necessarily say don't have a TikTok and Instagram, like you can have all of them, but I would not really heavily focus on learning one until you're an expert in the first one that you feel comfortable in. So that is how I build out our 36 touch marketing plan. Any questions on that?
How long did it take to execute this from start to finish, like build up the full plan?
Like for me to plan it out.
Just because looking at it, it's such an overwhelming amount of things to do as like when we're just starting out. So, like, how long did it take you to start and then actually finish where you're doing everything on the list consecutively?
That is a really hard question to answer. Basically, my first year is the first year we had a real plan. 2020 was the first year we had a real plan, and then 2 months in, we got hit with COVID and plan went out the window. And we had a phenomenal year in 2020 because we really went back to the basics of as soon as we were on a vacation, we were at Disneyland when like the last day they were open, and we're driving home and we were just like, what do we do? How do we survive this? How do we help our clients? And we came up with this idea to do care packages, and we went and bought everything out at Dollar Trees and Walmart so we could get, and we went and dropped crap off at clients' houses. That is completely irrelevant to this. Do that a lot. But so, and we have a huge unfair advantage where my job, like if you look at the MREA models, I shouldn't have a job yet. Our income is not to where we should have director of operations, but because I'm married to the Rainmaker and I was given a really cool opportunity to come into this space, I didn't have to make as much money because, or the team doesn't have to make as much money to pay me. Essentially, I work for free. So to sum that up, I spend a lot of time on this, but for the first 9 years of the business, our plan was very like by the seat of our pants. So my recommendation on filling this out is I would first put in the 2 events that, hey, I'm going to do these 2 events. That way, right now, especially where they're both mid-year on, that gives you the opportunity to be like, okay, I need to save some of my closings to pay for these events and stuff, so you can actually bankroll them rather than scramble when the time comes. But basically, what I would do is the next 3 weeks, do your morning lead gen activities, and then after lunch, I would spend like an hour a day on this until it's fully fleshed out to how you like it. One thing I'm going to try this year, I haven't done it yet because I've just been crazy. I'm actually going to throw my plan, like I'm going to wrap it in because we've been doing it so long. I know that we're doing photos with Santa the first Saturday in December next year. I know that Pi Day's there. I know the pool party. I don't know a date until January 3rd is when they open up the ability for us to book our pool party. So there's some intangible. I know we'll do a pumpkin patch. I don't know when that'll be, but I'll just kind of tentatively put it in there. And then as the dates start filling in, that's when I come back and we'll change dates and stuff. So I think you'll probably notice there's some that are red on my actual one. Depending on when I made that, the red means this is a tentative date or something. So it's a living document, but I want it as filled out as early as possible so that I don't have to think, oh, today's the 3rd Thursday, crap, I got to get an email out. I want to see it on Monday that week that, oh, hey, the email needs to go out this week. I actually, for me, I have it time blocked on Tuesday that I'm going to fill out or create my email and do this, but I do it all based off of this one page document that sits above my computer monitor. So I see it and I say, okay, that's what's coming up. right now, like we literally just got done with our Photos with Santa event. We're gonna have our debrief at 11 today of that. And immediately I'm going into my Club 92 January event. It's our biggest event of the year. It's the most expensive event, at least where we spoil only our past clients with a really nice adult only dinner and some type of activity. Last year we did top golf. This year I think we're doing a paint the night with catered dinner. So like just planning all of that. So to summarize, I would just make it a priority to every day work on it after you've done your regular lead generating activities until it's done. So I would think in a few days at the level you're at, you could have this done. And then if you do it now, the next year, all you're going to do is be like, oh, I didn't like the pumpkin patch. I want to do something different. You can start tweaking it. And then you're not, for me, I spent a lot of time to build it up, but I was already 9 years into a business that wasn't sending emails regularly. And I had to come in and figure out how do I ease people into getting emails and how do I do this and that. But where you guys are at the beginning, planning now for the future, I think is the best thing you can do. And it shouldn't take a ton of time because it's just like, okay, client events, we're doing 2. What am I going to do before the events? I want to make sure I contact everybody. So that can be your quarterly call for them that month. It can be your, or it's quarter call or text. My email is going to have a sign up for it that month or, 12 days before, something like that. In all of my emails, I have upcoming events as well. Just so that as they're reading the email, they say, oh, upcoming event, kind of like save the dates in their brain, just so that they know something's coming. And then I on my emails, try to get at least two emails that has the sign up. So there'll be the early planners who are like, oh man, this isn't a month. I'm super excited to sign up immediately. And then I'll have the people who are last minute, like, I'm not committing to anything. And then they'll get the next email. And they'll be like, oh, it's in a couple days. All right, now's the time to sign up. But yeah, sorry, that was a really long answer. Any other questions on that? Yeah. She joined our team a year and a half ago.
Did she do?
No, so she got in back in the like she's been in a really long time. She got out in 2008 for a year and a half, 2 years. She went into mortgages and title for during those crazy years. And then she got back in right after Becca got in. And she has been on, she was on 2 different teams. One was a team here in the office who recently left. And then she was with another guy who, and she's never really focused on her database. And that's the big change we've been working on is getting her working with her database, because she's always had good people. People really like her. It's just staying in touch with them. And so that's really all I do is, I help with her emails, with her postcards, with her farm, and all of that. So it's the growing phase of it, but yeah. Yeah, so the first full years back, I believe she doubled her business from the previous year. And I think with the way she's pacing right now with her appointments and what she has kind of in the pipeline, I think she'll probably hit 15 this next year. So, yeah. With no cold calling or door knocking or open houses. So, yeah. Any other questions on what we do or what?
Briefly outline, like, what does your day look like? Just in general, do you think wake up
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What do
Uh-huh.
you run for your day?
So my day is gonna be different than yours because I do not do any of the sales. Pretty much my whole database is in my wife's hands. So if there are people that are transacting whatever, she's the one contacting them and everything. But my morning starts on Monday at 6 a.m. I start prepping for my coaching call. I have a coach call at 7:30. He's in the East Coast, so
You a coach?
yeah, he's my coach. So he helps me with. Right now, we're focusing heavily on recruiting. I'm trying to hire 2 agents for 2025, because that's part of my goals. So I start at 6 a.m. to prep for him. Once I get all of my numbers for the previous week, so I go through and see how many appointments the team went on, how many closings we had, all of our GCI, like I track all of our numbers, and I get that in for him. Then I just, if I have time between then and my appointment, I just start going through my Monday cast list. So I pulled up our email list from Thursday that went out. Made sure that it went out. I saw that we had 71 people sign up for the event, or for the giveaway, the house cleaning giveaway, which is good, but it's not our highest. This year was 109 was our highest amount of people who signed up. I can't remember what that was for. So I look at that kind of, I have sheets in places where I track how many people are opening the emails, how many people are entering, if there's an entering. After I went through that stuff, I went and started pulling information for our team meeting. We do team meeting on Mondays at 11. And so I started pulling that and setting up my slides this week. Through the end of the year, we're basically not as focused on what we normally would. This week, we're doing the debrief of photos with Santa, where we look at how many people signed up, how many people no-showed, which databases didn't no-show or no-showed. We talk about the conversations we had at the event, and then we talk about the costs, like how much did we spend on it, and go through all of that. And basically at the end of it, I'll have all these notes that will then be turned into a playbook for the event of things that went well, the things that didn't go well, and things that we want to change, add, different things like that. After that, I'm now here, and on a normal Monday, I'd still be about a little bit later, I'd still be working, but on that stuff. Then I have my team meeting, then I go to lunch. After lunch, on Mondays, I generally either go grocery shopping or I find a little bit of work until I pick up my kids at 2. So my day is compressed. That's why I work from home now, because my office is 40 minutes from my house. So I save an hour and a half by not driving to the office. On Tuesdays, I get up. The first thing I always do is check my 411, which is my daily activities that help me hit my goals. So I make sure that when I look at that, I say, okay, what do I need to do today? What's the one thing I can do today that makes everything else easier or unnecessary? And I just, always making sure, what am I doing today to advance my overall objectives? But after I do my 401, on Tuesdays, I do my handwritten birthday cards, is my first activity. I do blog posts on our website. We have, the alias is theutahrealestateagent.com. We built it, we're on our third rendition of it. Before my last job, I had a background in online sales and stuff. So I used a lot of techniques that I learned to, like the URL is huge because it's all the keywords we want. And so we built it up several times. And we rank really, really well with Google because of the keywords and all the things. So I've been afraid to transfer it to the Keller Williams as well. So I'm paying way more than I should because I'm afraid of losing my Google rankings. But yes, the Google or the KW one, it has pretty much all of the same features that mine has. Mine's just I'm hosting it through a company called Ballin Brands. His sister is a lady named Lori Ballin. She is, I think she's out of California. I can't remember, but she's a big Keller Williams team agent person, and he understands our world and has the whole IDX thing, similar to how you can search on KW1 for homes. So I changed from a non-IDX host that couldn't to him, but it's basically a WordPress site. So it's really easy for me to go in and edit it. But Ballin is the one that, he basically emulated what I built with another guy here in Utah that couldn't do IDX, and emulate it, pulled it over, and he hosts it. The only time I contact him is when I screw something up, which used to be a lot, but we're past that now. So I do blog posts, and I do those every week. And then we have a VA who's taken a lot of stuff off my plate, but one of the things I used to do with those blog posts, I don't know what she's doing now, is taking them and posting them on my Google My Business page, so that once a week there's a new blog post there, just giving us backlinks, things like that. Pull up my calendar.
Blog post on the Google.
Yeah, so I post blog posts from that's hosted on my website to the Google My Business page. And that's just, it's giving Google credibility that I spend time in every single day. Our team does a post on Google My Business, and I have a calendar of what needs to be posted every day just to keep the cadence the same. So like blog post will go live on Friday, and the following Friday it'll be posted to Google My Business. So it's giving us backlinks to that, and it's just showing Google that we're on our website, editing it every day or every week. Let me get back into my calendar. I recently, at my coach's request, deleted a lot of stuff. I do have a consulting call on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. with a wealth building group I'm on. I do the daily 411s. I do birthday cards. Becca does weekly Zoom skills for our Mapleton office that I try to get on. With my birthday cards, I can't remember how I came up with the mailing schedule, but every week I have 7 days. So like tomorrow I need to write birthday cards for anyone whose birthday is December 15th through the 21st. And that on my calendar just repeats every month. So on that Tuesday, I know which birthdays to write. So I don't have to think about it. I just go, oh, 15 to 21, I go and find them in command through some smart filters and stuff. And it's super simple. Another thing I do, if any of my clients see this video, they're going to be like, Brady, I actually have pre-written scripts for everything. So I have on my birthday cards, I have two scripts. They're gendered, but in the case that, so like I've got a man and a woman script for birthdays. In the case, they're not really gendered, but in the case that, they're a partnership, whatever, I just use whose ever birthday's first that year of the partners will be I think it's the man's, and the second one will be the female. It's just whatever one they're in that order. But that way I don't accidentally send the same message to both partners in a group. So they probably wouldn't remember, but in case for some reason they're close to each other, we actually have one couple who their birthdays are on the same day. that way they're getting a slightly different message. I do try to personalize them if there's something, like if I'm good enough friends with them that I can personalize it, I will, and then I do the same thing with our home anniversary cards. First Tuesday of the month, I write any of the home anniversary cards for that whole month, which I actually still haven't done December's. It's on my task list for tomorrow since I pushed it from last week. But basically I'll go through and I'll write home anniversary cards, and I have a script for year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, all the way to 10. When they hit 10 years, which we've had one, we do a little pop by celebration box, that balloons and confetti and stuff that we just drop off. And so they open it. It's like, oh, hey, 10 years, congratulations. You know, you've lived in this house longer than the average. We're super excited. Hope you made lots of memories in this house, whatever. Just helping them celebrate, but also reminding them that we're their real estate agent. And with the one that just hit 10 years, they like to post about things when they get stuff. And then all of a sudden their friends and their family are like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't get anything from my agent. And just always stay in contact, you know. Will those couple ever leave? Probably not. And that's okay. But they keep referring friends and family. So that's kind of my Tuesday. After that, sometimes I come to office team meeting. Most of the time I don't, because for my job, it's not really relevant. Almost everything I need that the office provides, they send out in the email afterwards. As an agent, I would absolutely recommend being here, rubbing shoulders with everyone and the new listings. You know, there's so much little stuff you can learn in that. Wednesdays is my extremely open day. I just kind of leave it open for whatever needs to happen. Thursdays, I do, I have a big time block for working on my 411, which is like right now on Thursday, I will be working on my recruiting strategies, to hire agents. So I just have a big time block scheduled for that. And then, Wednesdays, I do have my emails, making sure that they're all scheduled out. And then Friday is the days I usually schedule lunches with vendors, or if the few clients that I go to lunches with. Yeah, so that's my daily stuff. If I were an agent, I would also, my morning stuff would be following up with contracts, following up with leads, doing it'd be prospecting, and then following up. You really want to make that prospecting time kind of immovable. You really want to make sure that you're doing it every single day. Even if you've got like a really hot buyer who's ready to be doing stuff, you don't want to forego tomorrow's business for the business today, because a couple hours won't hurt the business today, but it will hurt the 30, 60, 90 days from now business if you're not actively prospecting always. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Any other questions? I think we're running close to on time. I think it's almost goes to 10:30, right? So this was kind of there. My new sweater. Basically what we did, if you have questions, feel free to at any time reach out. I'm more than happy to share, help, develop your plan, whatever. So you can use your smart plans to develop these your 36 touches. I do not use any of the smart plans except for short-term smart plans, like one-time smart plans. But they do work. You can set it up to send out the neighborhood snapshots, the quarterly call plans. I do think we're going to be starting to use this the quarterly call plan type of template because my mom, one of her strategies for this next year is she's actually going to be sending birthday cards to the kids of her clients because a lot of her clients' kids just love her. And so she's going to set up I'm going to set up her a smart plan that will let her know either the first half of the month or the second half of the month to send a birthday card to these. Yeah, so they work. The other one that I like, my team does not like, is the crap. I always forget what they call it. Some people call it the bold method, but there's an actual name for it. But basically, someone really smart went in and figured out that certain letters of the alphabet, like the way they divide them up, you do two letters of the alphabet, and every quarter you'll contact all of the people in your database. And so basically, you can do a smart plan that this week you contact the B and the T's, and then next week you do the next ones and stuff. That one works really well. Don't currently use it. Wonder if it's one of these that it shows up there. The 8x8s, actually, we do use those as well. So anytime we get a new contact in, it's going to be reminding us to, or automating or reminding us to send 8 different pieces of contacts over the first 8 weeks to solidify that. I'll hold it like this, that we are their agents in their mind. Have any ahas? Any other questions?
Ahead of times, like with the birthday cards, what birthdays you need to figure out. 18th to 21st or whatever you did.
Yeah.
Just be ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that to me, it makes my life really easy because I know tomorrow I'm gonna go and look at whoever's birthdays are for what was it? I think it's the 14th to the 21st. 15th through the 21st. So it's a 7-day. And sometimes they'll be stacked, 2 or 3 of them really early and a couple of them later. Once they're written, I can go drop them off at the post office and they'll get there early and that's fine. Or sometimes if it's like the 21st where all the birthdays are condensed, I will just put a sticky note on it says drop off on Friday. So on Friday, I look at my desk and it's right there and I just go and so like, but having them done means that I'm not scrambling when I'm busy to try to remember to do it because I don't know if you've seen, I'm very scattered. So I have to be very, very intentional about how my days go to make sure that everything gets done. Cool. Well, if there's no other questions, I will let you guys go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.